Today, we're going to compare a DVO Diamond D1 to a Vorsprung Smashpot built Fox 36 with a Grip2 damper. Now, one is full coil, one's coil combo. Both forks are set to 150 mil of travel. I did all testing on my Norco optic. All other things were perfectly identical. Rear suspension setup, tire pressures, everything. Tires, this. Only difference here when you compare this video are the forks. In the Vorsprung Smashpot, there's a 60-pound spring. In the video, I think I referenced it as a 45-pound spring. I do have one of those because a friend of mine wanted to try it, but currently it was set up for me at a 60-pound spring, so that would be more accurate. All of the other settings are completely dialed in. I spent a lot of time on each fork over the last couple of months before I did my comparison runs to make sure each fork was completely dialed and I knew exactly what was going to happen and I could just compare them in their correct set state. So this should be a pretty fair comparison. Let's get into the videos and you can hear my thoughts while I'm rolling down the trail.
Run 1 DVO Diamond D1 fork. We're going to do a run on 2 identical runs. Everything will be the same except the forks. And what I'm looking for is just feel. I'm going to compare this to a Vorsprung Smashpot and a Fox 36 and see which one makes the front end feel like it's got lots of traction when it's bumpy and rough. So let's get started. So the Diamond D1 definitely has always been great on the front traction. It handles the smacks really good. Oh, so much better than it was not too long ago. Drop. Corners aren't so blown out. That little bit of snow really made a difference. Okay. Tight turn. Mess that up. What we're looking for here is feel on the bike. Front end traction feel. Letting it go. When the bike feels best. Hot handles. Whew. Losing the back there for a second. Well, that's a big change. Made a mess of that corner actually. Letting it roll. Looking for hand chatter. Where the front end feels really smooth. Where it feels like I've got absolute best grip. Won't be my fastest run. Doing this a little tired. Had a long week. So in some ways good. I'll know which one helped me more. Gonna also look at bottom out resistance. I'll give an overview of how this fork works, how a Smashpot works, all that good stuff. Get that front brake, there we go. Back only, yeah. Get a hold of the brake, get off that brake. Let it run. Get a little, chatter. Yeehaw. Little sender. This front fork definitely eats up that chatter super good. High traction. Real good run. Feels good. Allows me to move around a lot, feel secure. Oh, we're already drying up. Getting some more snow tonight though. Get this dry stuff put back. Whew. Somebody making ruts where we don't need them. Yeah, yeah. Get off that front, there we go. Oh, the traction's so much better. Some of these throwovers, just gotta let that body move, let that bike do its job. Definitely a lot of people coming through heavy on the brakes. A lot of chatter on this trail now. Punch out. Nice little finish. Make sure there's no cars. No, this is a freeway to get to the hiking. And there is the DVO Diamond D1. Run one done. Well, if you hear a wreck behind you and a yard sale, just maybe come back and see if I died. Yeah. So.
Keep going. Keep going.
Yes, when you get to that spot, we're gonna go left. So I'm gonna do my.
Right here at the tree.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my quick little. What the hell I'm up here doing? We're fine. Ride 2, lap 2. Vorsprung Smashpot in a Fox 36 at 150 mil, 45-pound spring, I believe. We're gonna see how this feels versus the Diamond DVO Diamond D1. Chris already took off. Dude is beyond fast. Oh, that felt good. So here's a hydraulic bottom out control for the last bit of travel, and it does work good, but ooh, a little skippy compared to the DVO, but it's full coil all the time. Oh, to give you an idea, little difference drop. All right, you have the Fox 36 Grip2 damper, can't complain about that. I'll weigh them. I'm not sure the weight difference, but they're going to be close. Yeah, it feels good. Feels fast. Ooh. It's hanging on good. Chris is a former BMX racer and a North Star park rat, so he is gone. Home fry is out of here. Oh, whoa, big mess. Wasn't paying attention. That's a gap you don't roll in like I just did. Okay, chatter. There's a little more feedback. And everything else being identical. I feel a little bit more than I was feeling, but it's fast still. Ooh. Some of that could be small damper adjustments too. You never know. I have it set to where I like it, but I could always try that change at some point. Coming down the chute. Get around that corner. Front brake, off the brake. Came in hot. Off the front brake. Let that front brake control at speed, then get off of it. Definitely more feedback coming through. The bike is definitely going fast, but more feedback in the front end this time. I did do this one run too, because I've been riding the DVO. So I wanted to give a warm up. I definitely feel better, still tired. Feeling good. Get in here, get in here, drop it in. Hey, I can still see his dust. That makes me feel a little better. That means I wasn't the slowest guy I've ever met today. Brought that back in around nice. Clip the rock. That's where I can feel the front end a little too much. Feels from vibrating across the trail just a touch. Traction's still high. That spring is set to stiff at 45 pounds, I believe. But that's okay. You want it to be a little stiff, or you're gonna ride this stuff. Yeah. And that's lap 2.
All right, so there's the comparison videos. Now let's talk about my thoughts on these two forks. And let me run down some numbers for you. The DVO Diamond D1 had about 130 PSI, and I left it in open mode. So on the DVO fork, there's 6 clicks of adjustment so that the comparison was really fair. I did leave that in open mode. That way the two forks were set up, again, as similar as possible for what they are. What's really cool about the DVO Diamond D1 is that adjustability. You can make the fork ride higher in its travel by simply adjusting up to 6 from 1. So if you're looking for something that continues to build resistance easily, you know, and you can up that low speed on it, 1 or 2 clicks just to get, it would chatter more, but at the same time you would get some resistance to the trail. So if you're riding a flow trail, turn it up to 2 or 3, and you can gain a lot of control over how the bike performs and behaves. So that's something that I really did like about that fork. Difference in weight, just over half a pound. One was 5 pounds, 1 ounce. One was 5 pounds, 11 ounces. So I got about 10 ounces difference in the two forks when I weighed them. This is without the axles. I weighed the forks without the axles because they were laying on the bench, so I didn't feel like going and grabbing them. The DVO Diamond D1 uses a coil air mix, where when you do the Vorsprung Smashpot upgrade, which I have a video about, it's all spring. It's a complete spring system now. It's got trapped air, so ultimately there's a small amount of air. You can get into that in that video, but the reality is there's no air pressure adjustment. It just is what it is. The bottom out resistance, I feel, is smoother on the DVO. It is very good on the Vorsprung Smashpot. I love both of these forks. The interesting part about the Fox 36 that surprised me was it riding higher in its travel, which would lend it to be a little better in the steeps, but overall performance, it wasn't better for me. That chatter in the small bump, and that when you do come off of stuff, you definitely can tell you get deeper in your travel easier, so you don't get as much resistance to drops and things like that. And traction was really good on the front end with both. I will say the DVO's traction was a little bit better for me. It might just be my preference to the fork. It might be my riding style fits that fork really well. The Smashpot is a traction monster, but you do notice the weight difference. And so when you're coming up on things that you want to pop over, or you just want to pick the front end up, or in that mode of traction when you're leaning over and pushing pretty hard, it is just enough weight that you do notice, and it's all unsprung weight. So you do notice that weight difference going on when you're going down the trail. Not a big difference, but it is there. I mean, we're getting heavier and heavier in forks, so you start to notice the front end being a little heavy. The bike feels more in balance overall with the D1 than the bike felt in balance with the Smashpot. I'm running the D1. That's the fork I've decided I'm going to keep on the Norco. It is in very good balance with the Öhlins TTX Air 2. They ride and feel similar, and my front rear balance is really, really nice. I will probably put the Smashpot on from time to time. It is just a lot of fun to ride. I really enjoy that fork. I have a 45-pound spring for a friend of mine to borrow it because he wants to try it out. He's currently running a Fox 36 with a Seekis that we built. I have also run a Fox 36 with a Seekis for some amount of time. As a quick side comparison here, it is lighter, but it is pretty good, but it is not as good as either one of these forks when it comes to real traction and high performance. It's really it's a great upgrade, but if you're just looking for some air spring stuff and some mid-stroke support, it will never compare in high traction, low speed events, or just high traction, small bump chatter. It just doesn't compare to these two forks. Both are significantly better. So that's my thoughts on the two forks. You heard pretty much everything you needed to in the video. Both are a lot of fun. I am going to choose a DVO Diamond D1 to run as my full-time fork on the front of my Norco optic. What would you choose? Based on hearing what you heard in the video, knowing that the timing was only 1 second apart. So we're not talking about a speed difference. We're talking about a feel difference at this point. Let me know in the comments. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I look forward to seeing you out on the trails.